Hello participant, thanks for joining today's training. The title for today's training is Home Modification, Make Home Smarter. In our home, all the commonly used home design features are not always designed keeping in mind whether it could be used by people with all abilities or not. And this makes some of the home features difficult to be used by people with certain disabilities. And this is where the concept of home modification comes. And in the next few slides, we are going to learn more about the home modifications. So are you ready? After this session, participants will be able to first define home modification and why do we need it. Second, identify factors to consider for an accessible bathroom and toilet. And third, recognize at least two home modification strategies for bathroom and toilet. Let's start by defining home modification. Home modification is changes, alterations, adaptations to the living environment made to improve safety, access, independence, and participation in daily activity. Intervention can include a combination of structural changes, assistive technology, or in short, AT, and the different services. If we give a closer look at home modification, you'll find that person is in the middle with three things around them. And the three things are the home in which the modification need to happen, assistive technology, which is any process, system, or equipment that enhance the human performance. And one example of that is maybe the walker or the wheelchair, what you might have seen people using around you. And the services. Services could be provided by the caregiver, the healthcare staff, or any other family members. But the question is, why do we need home modification? So the answer is we need home modification because it increases functions and independence of a person. It increases the participation of person. It also increases safety and security. It also decreases the caregiver burden and delay or remove risk of institutionalization. But many a time, you might have seen that all the places are not accessible for all users. For example, a wheelchair dependent person is unable to go out of his house on his own as there are steps at the main entrance of his HDB flat. And this is very common. This is very practical problem. And here comes the concept of universal design, which we're going to explore in the next slide. So the intent of universal design concept is to simplify life for everyone by making housing usable by more people at little or no extra cost. Universal design is useful in appealing to people with diverse abilities and it ensures the functionality, security, and the safety. It also eliminates the unnecessary complexity in the structure. It is any component of a house which could be used by all regardless of their level of ability or disability. So in the next few slides, I'll introduce you to some of the home modification ideas which are good to be aware of and use in home environment as applicable. And one of the commonly seen home modification is the installation of ramps, as you could see in the picture in this particular slide. Too often, we have gotten used to living in homes that are good enough, but accessible homes raise the bar. Hallmark of accessible design are wide doorways and zero step entrance, which is not still in many of the HDB. Someone has rightly said, on one level, accessible design is common sense, yet on another, it is truly a revolutionary way of thinking about home design. In reality, these universal designs are common sense design. And when we talk about accessible home, one of the things that we must have to consider is bathroom and toilet. But there are certain factors to consider. And the factors that we should consider here are: what does the client need? Bathing, showering, toileting, or a combination of any of this? What is the setup of the bathroom? Also, we need to consider, will the client use it themselves or with a caregiver assistant? Overall, what is the level of independence or dependence of the client? Whether the client needs to be transferred, what is the muscle tone? What is the size of the client or the user? And the most important, do multiple users need to use the space? If we talk specifically about bathroom, some of the factors that we need to consider are whether there is light available in the bathroom and whether it is sufficient or not. If there is any step or curve at the entrance of the bathroom, if floor have anti-slip features or anti-slip mat, and if there is any grab bar installed inside the bathroom. Also, just for your information, in order to enhance the safety and comfort of elderly living in HDB flat, there is enhancement of Active Senior, or in short, EASE program, as an optional home improvement program. Now let's have a look at what to expect in bathroom. So if you look at this particular slide, you could see that this bathroom has a wide doorway. The entrance has no curb or the step. Also, it is adequately lighted. There is also a wall-mounted showering chair or the stool. The floor of the bathroom has the non-slip mat. Also, there is a wall-mounted sink which will leave knee space below with pipe shrouded to protect the leg of a wheelchair user. And also, you may consider rolling shower chair, as you could see in this particular slide. Just now, we spoke about factors to consider in bathroom modification. Now, let's have a look on factors to consider in modification of toilets. And some of the factors that you may have to consider are height of the toilet seat, whether there is a support or grab bar available or not, access to the toilet or if there is any curb at the entrance of the toilet, if floor have anti-slip features or anti-slip mat. So something very similar what you have seen for the bathroom modification. When we talk about toilet modification, height of the toilet seat is a major consideration in modification of toilet. And there are few ways of doing it, like the use of toilet riser, which is easy to install, and various heights and railing options are available. Also, there is toilet elevator, which is secure to toilet with bolt and it prevent the shifting, but it has limited height options. Other way to modify the toilet is the toilet platform, which enable use of existing toilet, and it's also less obvious than riser on top of toilet. In this slide, I'll talk about some of the accessories that you may consider both for bathroom and toilet. Grab bar, which is one of the most essential accessories to consider for your bathroom and toilets to provide better support during showering and toileting activity. Grab bar also provides support during sit to stand, especially for individuals whose lower limbs are weak. Apart from the use of grab bar for bathroom and toilet, you may also consider outdoor grab bar installation, especially at the entrance of the house, to provide support and make it safer and easier to open the entrance door. There are both fixed and foldable type of grab bar available in the market. You also may consider accessories such as detachable shower hose, bidet, splash guard, ring reducer, which is primarily to reduce the size of opening toilet seats, allowing for small kids to feel more safe and secure when sitting on the toilet. And of course, to consider the use of anti-slip mat to prevent any fall in bathroom and toilet where floors are mostly wet. You also may consider use of the hoist, as you can see in this slide, which is a great way of transferring from one point to the another point, especially when the person is very much dependent or heavy bill. Apart from what I discussed here in this presentation, there are many smart technologies available to make our home smarter and our life easier. So with this, we have come to the end of our session. So in summary, home modification and assistive technology create the best solutions, happiest client, and best outcome. Accessible homes are not bigger or even more expensive. They are just smarter. You also need to consider the cost versus construction. It greatly helps to reduce the caregiver burden. And the most important, it improves the safety of the client and the caregiver. With this, I end my this session. Thanks for listening.